Hello my friends, welcome to Painting with Harold, and I'm Harold, and tonight we have a 16 by 20 canvas that is already covered in a thin even coat of liquid white, and I have it turned on landscape. And tonight the colors I'm going to be using are titanium white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and the evil bright red. And I thought we'd do something tonight that's going to be kind of fun, and hopefully you can learn something from it. But I want to do a painting that I attempted to do a while back, and it'll kind of give you an idea of the difference between showing light and dark in a painting. And I don't know, I think it'd be kind of fun just to paint it. It's a pretty painting anyway in my mind, so we'll see what it looks like up here on canvas. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into a little of the phthalo blue and a little of the Prussian blue and mix them together right on the brush. And I'll start right here in the corner, and I just want to come up here and just make little circles. That's all I'm doing. I just want to make little circles just all over the sky. That's all I'm doing. Just make little circles. Anywhere and everywhere. It don't really matter. Wherever you want to make them and put them is absolutely fine. There's no right way or wrong way to do this, I don't think. It's just a very free sky, and you put them wherever you want them. Not like that. That's all we're looking for. And then I want to come into these same colors again, and we'll just come down here and we'll start at the bottom and pull across, or you can just pretty much, as long as you keep your brush strokes level, you can just come across the bottom and fill it in down here. Be a little quicker this way. And just pull it up to the sky, about like so. And I'm doing all this with a 1-inch brush. Of course, you can do it with whatever kind of brush you want to do it with. I just picked up a 1-inch. Alright, about like so. And then I'll drop that one over in the thinner. Then I'll pick up a 2-inch brush. And then I'll come back up here, and I just wanna real loosely go back over all of this, and real lightly, just blending some of it together. That's basically all I'm doing. And then I want to lightly blend it out, just real light. And that'll give you a pretty busy sky right there. I mean, just by itself. Then I'll knock some of this blue out over here on this paper towel. And I'll come right here. And then I'll lightly go across the bottom and just kind of blend these colors in. If you get a real dark spot like that, you can turn your brush sideways and apply a little more pressure, and you can work it right out. That's the beauty of liquid white right there. The ability to move paint on the canvas. It really, really hides a bunch of our mistakes for us. A bunch of them. Alright, then I'll knock a little of that that paint out. And I'll drop it in the thinner. Alright, now I'm going to pick up another 1-inch brush. And I'm going to get just a little bitty taste of the bright red. And I'm going to bring it up here into my titanium white. And just tap it right on the brush. And it's got just enough of the red in it that it'll appear pink. And in some of these spots it may even hit some of that blue and try to go kind of lavender on us. And if it does that, we won't cry about it. But to make clouds in this sky we're going to keep it kind of simple. We're just going to come up here and we're just going to make little circles and just pull them across. Just real tight circles. You can turn the brush sideways if you need to, or whatever you want to do. In this painting, it's your choice. I mean, it's your world. And you do not have to put clouds where I'm putting them. You can put them anywhere you want them in this painting. It's entirely up to you. Alright, we'll pick up a little more. Same color. I'll come over here and drop down and making these little circles. Come across here. Just little circles. That's all we want. And we'll grab a little more. And I'll come across here with another little cloud. I like so. Alright, we'll come back up to the top up here and we'll brighten up the top of some of these. Just a little. It ain't gotta be much. About like so. Alright, then I'll knock all the white I can out of this brush. And I'll set it in the thinner. And I'll pick up another clean, dry 2-inch brush. And I'll come up and just real lightly blend out the bottom of these. And I'm not really being real careful with these because it's not real important how much you blend these, because mainly I just want to come in here and fluff them up and just kind of blend over them a little bit. I'm more concerned with that than I am blending out the bottom. And then very lightly come across, remove the brush strokes, and that'll give us a fun little sky to play with today. kind of a cloud-filled sky kind of day. Alright, and then we'll just like to blend this color together right in here so we can get started. Alright, since I got this 2-inch brush and it's got a little color on it, I'll go ahead and use it. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to come into a little of the sap green and a little of the Van Dyke brown, and I'll pick up a little of the sienna while I'm up here. 3 of my dark colors, and I'll tap them all right here on the brush. And I want to come over here and I just want to start doing like a little cloud shape, a little tree shape up here. Just kind of loose, and it don't have to be real dark. It can be kind of medium toned, I guess, as you know, if that's the way you want it. But just come up here and come across at an angle here. About like so. And then come back across. Fill it all in at the bottom. About like that. And you can come up here and make some of these taller. Now some of them peeking up, and some of them shorter. And just like that, just tapping this color on, just like so. In fact, at this point, if you want to, you can bring this on across. It don't even matter if it just goes all the way across at this point. Alright. Come in here now and just clean it all up. And just like that, we got a line of trees that's going all the way across our canvas here. Alright, we'll come in here and I'll start pulling out the bottom. I'll go all the way across. It don't matter at this point. Just like so. Just come across here and pull out the bottom. And you want to keep this as straight as you can. Alright, now one little trick you can do right here with the same brush is come up here and get you just a little of the sap green by itself. That may have a little brown still mixed in it, and if it does, that's fine. But just load your brush, turn the brush sideways, and just tap you a little on your brush. And come right here at the bottom. Well, let's start about right here. Just come across here and just tap you a little of this green in at the bottom like so. And then pull a little of that down. and then come across here where you just pulled that down, come back a little further and just under it, like so, pull you another little bit down, and then pull that kind of down, just straight down, about like so. And you can come in here and you can do it one more time. Just come a little further back this time. Come across here. And tap you another one down. And just pull it straight down. Just like so. And you see how I did that? I made 3 separate ones right here. And each one of them, I pulled down, then I dropped a little further back. And did another one, pulled it down. And then dropped back and pulled another one down. That's all I did, just like that. And as long as you show this separation in here of each little line, you're okay with how we did that. Alright, now the brushes are starting to stack up on me, so I'll clean brushes right quick and I'll be right back. Alright, we got the brushes cleaned up, and now what we're going to do next is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab some of this white and I'm going to pull it down as flat as I can get it. And I'm going to bring a knife through it, get a little bit on that roll, on that edge out here. And I'm going to come right up here to this, where we just made this first little green stick out. And I'm going to come across here, all the way across, keeping it level as possible. And I'm going to put in a little water line across here, like so. Get a little more paint. And I'm going to drop down under this one. And I'm going to just kind of bring it up and join it in with this one up here, like so. And then again, I'm going to grab this one and bring it in up here and here with this one. And if you can see how that did that, it kind of gave us an indication across here. This don't matter. It gave us an indication of a little bit of land change right there. Made it look like the bank's coming this way. And I'm not 100% sure yet. We may have to make this a couple more longer. I don't know yet. We probably will, I think. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do it. And if we don't really need them in this painting, they'll get covered up. So what we'll do is we'll come right back into our green again, tap us a little color on the brush, we'll come back, come right under this one, just like so, pull a little down, make it dark enough that you can see it. Alright. Then we'll come under this one. And we'll stop it a little short. Alright, we want this one a little darker right there. Alright. And bring this one up here and pull it down just a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be plenty far enough. Alright, now on this last one here, I'm going to come across and just barely pull this brush across, just like so. Pull this back down, get it. Yeah, there we go. Now, alright. Now we'll get us a little more paint. We'll come back up to this one. We'll come right in here. And we'll bring it up here and let it join into that one. We'll get us a little more. Bring it in here. And let it join into that one. And we'll take this one on back. Just like so. Yeah. That'll work. Alright, now. I'm going to pick up my little round brush. My little, what's it called, the half round. And I'm going to come right down here and I'm going to pick up just a little bit of yellow ochre. And I'm going to come back here and I just want to start tapping some color on these trees back here. Just a little bit. I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's take a script liner and we'll put in just a couple of trunks back here. I really want these trees to be in the distance, so we'll do these trunks with some dark sienna. They don't have to be, well, it's got a little Van Dyke brown in it, but it don't matter. They don't have to be real in detail. I just want to come up here and I just want to add a few kind of short ones and tall ones to make it look like a bunch of different trees back here. You don't have to put no branches on them or nothing. All I'm looking for back here is just some indication of some trunks in case you see them. Just like that. Just in case they get seen, you'll at least know they're back there. Alright, then I'll come back over here. I'm going to get just a little drop of thinner and put on the brush. I'm going to come back in this yellow ochre. I'm going to come back up here and just tap on some ochre here and there. And this little brush right here, it does an amazing job when it comes to doing stuff on distant trees. Alright, now I'm going to bring a little of the cad yellow in, touch it into the green and the ochre. And I'll come down under it and just kind of touch on some color here and there. And like I said, I don't want a lot of detail in here right now. It's not necessary. Alright, then I'll grab a little of the Indian yellow. I'll bring it in here. I'm just trying to do different little color changes here and there. That's all. Just to make little indications of different colors, and also trying not to kill all the dark, as you well know. Alright, I'll come back over here and get some more of this green and yellow color. And I'll come under here and we'll put on some a little over here. I mean, this brush does such an amazing job at showing little leaves off in the distance. Just don't let them Just don't let them get too detailed back here. Keep them, just get it to where it's just showing a little color back here. We do not want a lot of detail. We want these to look kind of far off. They don't have to be tremendously far off, but we don't want them right in our face either, showing a whole lot of detail. Alright, we can pick up a little of the red, bring it over into yellow. That'll change the flavor some. Then come down in here. And just drop down. Just try not to kill all the dark back here. I mean, I know you don't have a lot of dark as it is, but what little bit we got, we just don't want to kill all of it. We want to keep this as soft and just kind of keep it as soft as you can, because by keeping it soft, it'll give it some distance. See, like right here where that color's trying to just pop through, just kind of knock it back down a little bit. And come up here and get a little of the crimson. Bring it down into this color. And as long as you keep it kind of subtle, don't let it get out here and get too bright on you. You can bring it across in a couple places. You can come over here and touch in a couple spots, make it look like it's kind of hidden back in here, like it's got some of those other colors around it. You can come down here and add a little more, just like so. Come back in your yellow again. And then where you put it at over here, you can just kind of come and kind of just encase it in, just kind of make it look like it's sitting back in there a little bit. And then come back and smooth that color out. And all I'm doing is just tapping and moving this brush around, letting it add little values of color in different places. That's all I'm doing. Alright, and I'll grab, let's see, alright, right there. I'll bring in some more of the Indian yellow right there. Pop in a little bit right in here. It's kind of got a little orange flavor to it. We'll blend it in across here. You can see how that how it does. I'm almost out of Pepsi. Or actually, I am out of Pepsi. Alright. These really are not important over here on this side. I'll show you why in a second. This one may be a little, that one there is not important at all. But we'll put some color over here just in case it shines through somewhere. Alright. Now, I'll come across here and I'll just loosely tap this color in, just real loosely. And I don't care. The only place I'm gonna really change up is right in here where that crimson is. I'll bring it a little of that color down, and right here. And then the rest of it's basically the same color as everything else. Just like so. Truth be told, I could have held off on the water line a minute, but I didn't. Alright, now very, very lightly come up here and pull this color down. Very lightly, just like so. Real light, just like so. And then very lightly come back across and just lightly blend it. Just pull it across, just like so. And just like that, we got instant reflections in the water. Then I'll pull these this way a little bit. Kind of get them over here behind this land mass. Just work on them a little bit. Won't take much. Just to give them a little reflection out here. Turn that brush sideways. Just like so. And I kind of like that water line like it is, because at night kind of looks like it's doing something completely different. But just to clean it up, all you got to do is take your knife and come back up here and just drag your knife along it. There's not a whole lot of light back there right now, no way. So then you can take your little edge on this one and kind of come back in here and clean this one up. You can even bring it out on the reflection a little bit to kind of blend it in. As long as it's more prominent up here at your land, you can get away with it. Alright, now while I got the knife, I'll go ahead and pick up a little, we'll go ahead and make some little indications out here of a few ripples in the water here and there. And I'll take that brush and I'll lightly set them down in the water, just like so. Alright, clean the knife up. Alright, now, while I'm here, I'm going to pick up a little of this cad yellow color. And I'm just going to tap it right on my brush. And it's got a couple other colors in it, but it don't matter. Alright, I'm going to come right over here, and I just want to lightly tap on some color back here. About like so. And I just want to drop down. And just give this the indication of a little land across here. Alright, just picking up some of that green, but just real light taps. And if it goes to acting like it don't want to come off your brush, just get you a little thinner and add to it. That's all you got to do. And just like that, we got us just a little land mass sitting out here. Just like so. Alright, now I'll get ready to wash that brush again. I'm going to go ahead and wash that round brush too. Alright, now I'm going to take a filbert brush And I want to get just the indication, just a little bit of the Van Dyke brown. And I'm just going to pull my brush through on both sides. That's all I did. And I want to come right up here at the bottom, right here, under that yellow that we just put on. And I want to take this brown, and I just want to pull it straight down toward the water. That's all I want to do. Just pull it right down into the water. And it don't have to go far down into it, but just pull it right down to the water, just like so. Cross there just like that. Then come over here on this side and pull it down, just like that. And then the same right here on this one. And we'll have to come pretty far back on this one. I don't really know exactly how far, but we'll come back far enough that we got it covered. Really didn't even have to put that water line in, did we? Because it's gone now. Alright. Just like that. And that makes it look like that the land is kind of raised up over here, kind of off of the kind of off the alright, I'm gonna grab a little more white. Makes it look like that's sitting up on kind of a little ridge over here. Alright, so right in here I got to cut in here because I messed that up. So I got to cut inside of that one and bring it back around. Because in reality you wouldn't see it that way. So I'm going to try my best to clean this up some. Kind of cover up my happy accident here. And we'll just come along here like so. And just put this little indication of water down through here, just like so. Right, then I'll try to clean this one up a little bit, just like that. And we'll just kind of pull all this together now, make it look like it. Like everything's just fading in right up there. In fact, we can take this one now and there we go. Much better. I like that. Now it looks like it's coming down. This one may need a little bit. Let's do it this way. This one may need a little bit more right in here. Just about like that. Yeah. Alright, now this paint off of me. I'm covered in paint again, as usual. Alright, I'm just to wash brushes again. I'll be right back. Alright, that didn't take very long, did it? Alright, now I said we was going to be trying to show the difference between light and dark. So now that we got all this done, what we're going to do is I'm going to pick up just a little bit of thinner on my 1-inch brush, and I'm going to pick out different spots. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. Let's say first I'll start over here, and I'm going to come into some yellow ochre, some Indian yellow, and a little white, and tap them on the brush to where they get a pretty decent mix. Now I'm going to come right up here, make sure we got enough thinner, and it don't take much. But what you want to do is you want to come up here, and let's just say the sun is coming from this direction. When you come up here and touch this, kind of touch that outside edge of it and bring it down, just like so. Don't touch this side, just touch that side and kind of let it blend in. And then kind of look where you got some more Indian yellow at, right here for instance. Come up here on the top of this one and just touch it and bring it down around on the side, about like so. Then you can look it over and see if you got another spot that's got any more Indian yellow. There's some right down in here we can get away with touching just a little bit right there, and probably a little bit right here. Maybe right there. And what this is going to look like is it's going to look just like the sun is hitting just in a couple places and not everywhere. Like if you was to come up here and just go to highlighting and just got carried away, it wouldn't have the same effect. It would look more like what am I trying to say? It would look like it'd look more like the sun is everywhere. But by doing this, it's gonna pull in some areas of light, and it's gonna leave some areas of dark. And once we get done, you'll probably see what I'm talking about a little better. Alright. Now let's see, we got a couple places up here of the yellow and green. So I'll need a little of that mixed with white. And we'll come right up here. We'll touch this one, like so. And maybe this one, kind of like so. I think this one could probably, yeah, there we go, like so. Alright, we'll add a little of that color out here on this one, just a little, not like so. We'll knock a little of that color out now. We're not going to put anything back in here. We're going to leave it kind of in the dark. Alright, now I'll take the alizarin, bring over here the yellow ochre, get some of it mixed on the brush. And then we'll grab a little white for it. And it don't take much, just a little. This may try to go pink on us, but if we don't put much of it on. We'll never know. Because we're just going to put enough on it to just kind of light them bushes up just a little bit. We're going to leave this other side dark. Just like that. And we're going to leave this dark. Alright, now, clean your brush again. Or if you got, if you got more than one brush, you can pick up a clean dry brush at this point. It's entirely up to you. Just make sure it's good and dry. And then come up here at where your highlight is, and just kind of tap it where it meets the dark, and just kind of let them blend together. And you're not trying to destroy either color. You just want a stopping point there between your light and dark. You just kind of blending them together is what you're doing. Real light touch, very light, very, very light, and just kind of blend them in. Because on that outside edge where your light is, those are going to look more like leaves than on down deeper. On down deeper, you're just going to look like part of your same bush. But it's just going to maintain that dark look. And across here. Just like so. And it just looks like the sun's coming across there, just kissing little certain areas. Not everything. Alright, I'm going to wash this brush again. And now we got this. So what we'll do is we'll come up here and we'll grab us a little of the white. Now there's some green over here already, just a tad. But we want to just pick us up some white and tap it right on the brush. And just come right over here and just very lightly touch this white on in a couple places, just here and there. And that'll make it look like the sunlight's working its way through some of these limbs and stuff on these trees, and just touching this little island back here in a couple different places, just like so. Then you can knock as much of that white out as you can, and come back up here and just lightly touch it, and kind of set it down in the grass. Make it look like it's a part of it. Don't make it look like it's sitting up on top of it. And it'll blend that color right in, and it'll just give it a few light spots in there. And it don't have to be a lot. You don't want a lot, because if you got a lot, it's going to look, well, let me show you what it's going to look like back here, because this is going to get covered up. If you come in here and do a lot like that, it's just going to look like it snowed on it. And that's not what we're going for. All we want is just a couple little spots back here that just looks like some sunlight snuck through, and just kind of gave it some highlights across here, just in a couple spots. And at any point you get carried away and you put too much, you can always bring a dark color back in and straighten it back up. But if you're careful, you don't have to worry about that. Alright, now I'm going to pick up the number 6 fan brush. Okay. And I'm going to come right up here, get me a little sap green, come down here into my yellow, And I'm gonna mix these two colors right on the brush. And just using just the corner of the knife, I want to come right at the top of this grass, and I just want to touch up in a couple spots across here, just some indication of little taller grass back here, just like so, and we'll carry it all the way across the. And when you're doing this, you just want to be careful that you don't end up with those smiley faces, because bending this fan brush up too far will give you some little smiley faces across here, and it'll look like your grass is smiling at you. Which, you know, if it's happy grass, well, we won't get mad about it. But if you're careful, you don't have to worry about that. You can give it some height in some places, kind of make it look more bushy, just like so. But by doing that, it gives it a whole different look back here. It just makes it look like it's breaking up the lay of the land a little bit. Alright, then I'll grab a little more of the yellow now. I'll come back in here and put my color back in. And then across here, just like that. Alright. Now I am going to pick up my 1-inch brush again. I'm going to come back up here and my colors, my sap green, my Van Dyke brown, and my dark sienna, and just tap it right on the brush. And I want to come right up here, and I want to start giving myself the indication of another tree shape across here like so. Just right in here. That. And I'm going to come down to about right in here. Wow. Y'all see that little bug? He was lost. Alright, I'm going to come across here now and give myself a little indication of some little bushes and stuff sticking up across here, and I'll just vary them in height. I'll have some shorter and some taller, and by now it seems like every time we go to painting something distracting happens, and I don't want to jinx us because they're being awful quiet back there. But I know there's 4 little creatures that live back here that normally love to be heard about this time of night, and they're being awful cooperative back there tonight. I'm gonna come over here and just keep keep on tapping across till we get about right here, and we'll come out. And I'll come up with another little tree shape over here. And just let him reach up here toward the sky, just like so. Like that. What it does just fine. Now we'll take this brush now and just pull it through the colors, because we've been tapping with it. So now we'll just pull it back to where it's kind of flat again. And we'll just come up here and pick us out a spot. And we'll just come across now and just tap on some dark color across here. And it can be any color you want to make it now. Green, blue, alizarin, dark sienna, whatever. Just a dark color now, don't matter. And I could have done all this with the, in fact, you can just brush it on across here like that. Just like that. I hope that shows up the camera. Then you can come back and kind of tap it, put some texture in it, just like so. And now this brush is bad nasty, so I'm gonna pull as much of this paint out as I can before I drop it in the thinner. Squeeze as much of that paint out as I can. And them bristles are full of paint. But one thing's certain, you gotta have paint to paint, so. Alright. Now we're gonna pick our script liner brush up again. And we'll come right up here in the same color we were just using. Get it good and thin. Now we're a little closer than we were before, so we're probably going to be seeing these trunks a little more now. Probably a little better. These little bitty ones down here. There's that bug again. And we'll come over here and we'll give it so big in a couple little limbs. Like so. We'll come out of here with another one. Bring it out. Alright. Not like that. Then I'll clean my filbert brush. Now this time, to highlight these trees, I'm going to be using this little 1-inch half round brush, half oval. That's our oval. It's got the black handle, and I'm gonna go over here and pick up a little thinner, and shake it out. before I start highlighting, I always look at the color above. Because if you see you got a lot of color around this one, that's the color you want to stay away from. If not, that tree's not going to stick out from it. It's not going to pop. Well, see, I already see some Indian yellow and yellow. So I already know that the best thing for me to do on this one to start out is just come up here and grab some alizarin crimson and yellow ochre. And let that be my first colors. And this is that brush. Remember that you got to have the bristles open on when you start highlighting with it. And if you keep them open and you take care of this brush while you're doing this, it'll take care of you. It really will. It will. It'll form the shapes for you. All you got to do is just touch and release, and it'll just add the shape for you right up here on your canvas. And that's all this is. It's just real light touches. And then it's up to you to remember not to kill all the dark and leave yourself some space in here. All that kind of stuff is the artist issue. Not like that. Now, since we're using this brush, and since we already got this color on it, let's make a few more of these same color trees. That way we don't have to come back to it later. We can just go ahead and add them right now while we adding. If that makes sense to y'all, it makes sense to me. So we'll do it. But just like so. Just come in here and add you a couple of those little colors. Just make sure you keep the bristles open. I can almost hear y'all out there hollering at me now. We know, we know. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll knock the paint out of this one right quick. Alright. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab a little of my yellow. And it's got some green in it. We'll pick up a little more bring in here. Just a little bit. Mix it together right here. And we'll come right under this one. And we'll give it a real pretty color change under here. Just tapping on some color, just like so. Not like that. And we'll add another one over here. Just another pretty little green one right there. And we may as well add another one out here. Just like so. And we'll knock that color out. And we'll come up here and grab just some ochre by itself. Just a bit. And we'll come in here and give him just a little different flavor right there. And we'll add a little right here. Just a little different. And even come over here under this one. like so. Not like that. I'll come over here and get a little bit thinner. I'll come over here now. Let's go ahead and do that big one. Alright, to do it, I'm going to come in, I'm going to get a little of the green and the cad yellow color. Since I got all that yellow ochre on my brush. Alright, I'm going to come right up here on this one and just start lightly tapping it. And the thing to remember when you're doing this is, you know, don't just come up here and just go to randomly tapping. Now, sometimes you might get lucky, but for the most part, you want to remember you're making a tree. And I'm changing colors, by the way. I'm adding a little Indian yellow into it. You want to remember that you are building a tree here. So you want to maintain a tree shape. Now I know it's a lot to keep up with, you know, when you're trying to remember not to kill all the darks and trying to remember not to leave your bristles, letting your bristles get stopped up, and but all that kind of stuff will come natural after you've painted a while. The thing to remember, you know, just keep in mind that it's the same thing you've done every time you do this procedure. You know, it's nothing really different. You do it every time you build a tree or every time you make a bush. All right, I'm gonna come right into some bright red now. And this color shouldn't be like a screaming red. Since I got all these colors on my brush, it should kind of tone down some. I'll come right here under this one. I usually like to keep my bright red colors out in the middle so that I can find them fairly easy. But this one's kind of dark, and that's good because it's going to be kind of shadowy back here anyway, back in that area. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and clean this brush again. Alright, now I'm going to pick up my knife and I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to get this Van Dyke brown that's left and this dark sienna that's left. I'm going to get me a little roll of paint on my knife and I'm going to come right up here and I just want to start pulling this color across here just like so. Just get this dark color out here. Just come up to the bushes and just pull this color out. And if you get in there and touch the bushes, it's not important because we're gonna be doing a little more work in here. But just take that and just pull that dark color across. Now I almost didn't have enough. And I don't know that I do, to tell you the truth. I think I do. I think that's plenty for what we're going to do with it. But we just want to come up here and pull this color out just like that. A good dark color. Van Dyke brown and dark sienna mix. I think it's even got a little sap green in it. It's whatever those colors were earlier that we had all mixed together. Alright. Then I want to take some Indian yellow and a little ochre and some white and mix all them colors together right here on the palette, and we get just a real bright kind of sunshiny color. And there's just a very little bit of brown left on my knife. I mean very little, not even enough to worry about. And then we'll pull this color out as flat as I can get it. Leave it kind of marbled mixed. And grab that little roll and come back up here and just let it glide across the canvas right across here. Just very easy. Just let it pull off what it wants across here. Just like so. Just let it pull that color off. In different places across here. Just like so. Just like putting snow on a mountain. Just like that. Okay. Alright, now I got to get a little more yellow. I always run out of yellow, seems like. You think by now I'd know to get more out. Alright, I'm going to grab my fan brush that's in the thinner, and I'll just knock it out a little bit, shake a little of that thinner off. I'll come up here and get a little more of my sap green, and I'll bring it down here into my yellow. Mix this color right here on the brush. Then we'll come right up here at the bottom of these bushes, and I want to start laying on some little grass indications out across here, like we got grass growing out on this, right out from under these bushes. And if it don't want to stick, get you some more thinner, because you want this color coming off in here. But just in a couple places across here, just bring you some indications of grass out on top of your highlight color we just put in. Bring this back up here. Just make sure you got enough thinner in it and it'll stick. And just come right up to the edge of that grass, or the edge of your bushes, and just kind of work your way out onto the path, putting a little grass out there. That's all we're doing. Just like so. You can grab some of the ochre, some of the Indian yellow, some of the red if you need to. Just whatever colors you want to use up here. Just add you on some grass is all we're doing. To make it just look like it come right down into the path. And then in places it's got some yellow in there. See how that yellow is kind of sticking up in places. Well, I'm not gonna get mad about that, because to me it looked kind of like, almost like flowers across here. So I'm not even gonna get upset about it. About like that. Basically what I want to do is try to cover this and make it look like just old rocky, like an old rocky trail that exists back here. May have been a few years ago, but at one point it was back here. Alright. I ain't real crazy with the way that's turning out. I tell you what we'll do. We'll just abandon that whole plan. And I'll come in here and I'll fix this right quick. I'm just gonna jump ship on you. I'm just gonna come in here now. I'm just gonna come in here and tap it on like this. And then all that color that's under there, it'll just act as earth. Once we get all this texture tapped in and down, I can come back in here, get some more highlights, and come back up here and add a little flavor on it. But for now, we'll just make it look like grass across here. Yeah, not like that. Alright, now I'll take that fan brush now and I'll come back up here and I'll pull this color up over here. And I'll just make it look like taller grass back here. And cut in a couple different places. Just like that. See how that's doing that? We can bring some of this sunshine color in here now and give it a little highlight. Make some of the grass look like it's a totally different color back here. Just like that. Add a little white every now and then if we need to. Just come in here and pull us up some little tall grass across there, hiding in bushes. I'm just going to have to hurry up and get through with this painting because I got to get up here and check on my puppy. He's sick. He's been sick all day. My wife's up there with him right now. I sent her a text message. Asked her how he was doing a minute ago. And she said, well, he's just laying here. He seems like he's maybe feeling a little better. I hope he is. I don't like it when my little animal's sick. Them little dogs and birds and whatever kind of animals and pets you got. If you're anything like me, you get attached to them, and man, it's almost like they become family. Alright, just like that, we got us some little grassy effects going on over there. Alright. I guess I'll pick up some more yellow now, since I can't never seem to get enough of it. I don't think it'll take much this time. little bit more green. Maybe just a little bit. That is some funky colors in this brush right now. Might mess my highlights up. Or it might actually help them. Alright, we got them tapped on. Alright, we'll come up here at the bottom of our little grass we just made. And we'll tap us on some color. Across here. Yeah, that don't look nothing like grass. Get some more green in that. Alright, let's come across here. Well, in a way, it kind of looks like fall grass. Kind of a mix between hay and alright, I got enough green on there now. I can wash this brush. I can fix that. I can fix that real quick. Get my knife and clean all this off. All this old crazy color. A little bit over here. There's enough green in there now that I can come back in there with some yellow and make that little area match our other little area up there. I'll do it with a clean brush. I think it would have been real pretty if that would have had a little cabin sitting on it back in there. But I guess we alright the way it is. Alright, now got this brush loaded with just straight cat yellow now. Now we'll come up here and add us some little grassy, soft grass. That's what we're fluffy grass. I think that's what I decided to call it. This area to me just kind of looks like a little secret lake hidden back in here. Kind of like nobody knows about it really. As far as we know, there's a guy already living back here that got him a little cabin just off to the side up here that uses that little grassy knoll there to walk down and fish in the little lake. For all we know, he may know more than we know, and we built it. He may know where all the big fish are. That grass right there just looks too uniform to me. Alright, I'm going to try to redeem myself on some grass right quick. I'm going to come into my color right here. I'm going to come up here and try to make some taller, sticking up back here. You know, the last time I tried to make some grass, y'all remember what happened? I ended up making one of the ugliest trees I ever made in my life. And that's pretty bad. When you're trying to make grass and you end up making a tree. Now that's something to talk about there. And I don't know that if y'all hadn't have seen that happen, I don't know that I'd have told y'all about it. But I couldn't lie to y'all because y'all watched me do it. So, I don't know. What do you say? When I did go back and fix it, I came in there and put some evergreens over it and did away with it. Alright. That looks a little better right there. At least it's not all the same height now. And it's different colors. And it's got some bright spots and some dark spots. Alright, I got to get on the road here. Alright. I'm gonna come back up here in my white. A little bit of crimson. And I want to come over here and just real loosely touch in some highlight colors over here on this little tree. Just enough to make it look like the sun's hitting it in spots. That one already does. Alright, we'll hit this little fella right here. Alright, now I got out more white. I did not put out enough color tonight to do nothing. I thought I had too much color out. Well, I do phthalo blue and Prussian blue. Well, that wasn't good. I was pressing my tube of white and my whole thumb just busted through the tube. And I got white paint all over my finger. All up under my fingernail. Oh, that's going to be fun getting out. Alright, I won't do it while y'all on camera because I don't want to take up time cleaning my fingernails up. Alright, get a little of this white, a little of this red. And I'll come up here and we'll act like a little snow. I mean, a little sun's hitting him here and there. Just in a couple places. Maybe we got a little sun bouncing off this one in a couple places. Maybe off this one in a couple places. We'll let a little bit hit this one even. Just light him up. And this one. It just don't take much highlighting when you're highlighting trees and bushes. That's kind of what I wanted to let this be about. I wanted you to see the difference when you leave dark colors in your trees and bushes. Because when you do that, it just adds to the overall effect. It's way different than having the sun hit it everywhere. Other than highlighting the entire tree or bush, you just got little spots that the sun's just lighting up. Alright, we'll come back over here now and kind of tone this one down, just like we did earlier. Kind of just work it in. And then I'll flip that brush over and do the same on these. You just want to kind of kill that one side, you know, don't let it just kind of let it blend in. That's all you got to do. And then to finish it off, we can come across out here and just, whoa. We can make us a kind of a sunshine color out here. Well, that's not a sunshine color, but we can get away with using this red as long as we tab it in. Like so. That'll add a little lightness out here. It ain't the color I prefer, but when you run out of white, I guess you do the best you can. Just add a little punch out here. Just a little something different. And about like that, we got a little painting that's showing the differences between light and dark in our trees and our bushes and our highlights. You see, you got to leave those dark areas, those dark shadows. Those dark shadows are what help your overall effect when you're doing this. You gotta have that darkness behind it, because if you don't, it's light on light. Now I got a pile of brushes and I got a palette to clean up. So I'm gonna pick up my script liner. Over here into some red and put my mark on it, just like so. I guess I should highlight that. Alright, but now we just got us a little hidden lake back here that's kind of a fall type deal that's going on. And we got some highlight colors and we got some dark colors. Spread it out, just kind of showing our difference between light and dark. Let's slide that back. Y'all can see that, huh? Right, let me turn it around at an angle here. Right, I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit on it. Whoa. Yeah, I did. Let's see if I can turn the camera just a little bit. Y'all might can see it. There it is. Alright, I'll zoom out just to her. Alright, there it is. What do y'all think? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed it or not. Let me know if it may help you or not, because it's like I said, it's showing the difference between light and dark. You got a lot of dark areas back in there, and that's kind of the purpose of this one. I wanted you to see how to leave some dark areas in your painting. It adds depth, and that's the whole name of the game, is putting depth in painting. Well, I really hope y'all liked it. I want to thank y'all for joining me, and maybe next time we can do something else that be kind of fun and kind of relaxing, and maybe I won't get paint under my fingernails. I'll try to have out enough paint next time. I don't have to keep putting out paint. Alright guys, I really hope y'all enjoyed this one. It's real fun to paint. If y'all decide y'all want to paint it, you'll be in for a blast, because there's some fun little techniques, like putting that dirt under that bank and building those trees, and it's some fun little techniques. The grass kind of popped up on me. I wasn't expecting to put grass across there. I was hoping to get away with some little bushes with dark areas under it, but that didn't pan out. But sometimes you just go and do what the painting wants you to do, so that happens quite often. Alright, I love you guys. God loves you more. Y'all have a very blessed night, and I'll see you next time on Painting with Harold.